Welcome back to the Highline Podcast. Hit that button.
Yeah!
Let's go!
You can't do that.
I can't get it right.
Shut the up and let me talk.
I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
You're only young,
But you're gonna die. Proceed to party.
Ooh, are you ready, Riley?
What did he say?
Go Tigers.
That's incorrect.
Go Cox. I think that might be the best one we've ever done. That was good. I like that. Ain't found a way to kill me yet. Eyes burn with stinging sweat. Seems every path leads me to nowhere. Wife and kids, a household pet. Cade Klubnik is no safe bet. The bullets scream to me from somewhere.
I'm leaving.
Here they come to stop the Rooster. Oh, yeah. Yeah, here comes the Rooster. Yeah. You know he ain't gonna die. No. You know he ain't gonna die. Yeah, they come to snuff the Rooster. Oh, yeah. Woo! Game! You're supposed to say Cox.
Now, why the hell would I say that?
I thought you might want to root for a winner.
Yeah, I think might be in a any fucking team. I'm gonna be a Wake Forest fan. They won.
Yeah, go Deacons.
Yeah, they did. They gonna win the ACC, according to you.
Hey, that's
They
one
might.
take Drake.
I'll be honest with you, man. That was pretty damn good. That was very solid. He had the growliness in it. The pitch was pretty good. That was one of your better ones.
That's one of my favorite songs of all time.
I can tell. That's a good one. Who sings that song?
That's Alice in Chains.
That's right. The problem is he kind of sounds like Pearl Jam.
A little bit.
Yeah. I thought you were singing Black.
Blue on Black?
Yes.
That's a good song.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got.
All right. Sounds good. See y'all next week.
Works for me.
Well, we ain't got much racing to talk about.
Not a lot happened.
No.
And the other
I
racing we didn't even really watch this weekend.
I saw
Sunday.
I saw a poll. I think it was the Icebergs poll on YouTube. Everybody loved the race.
Yeah. I didn't.
I didn't think it was that good, but
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I don't know if it was bad,
It was awful.
but it wasn't good. It was slightly below average, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think I gave it a 4 out of 10
Yeah.
on my TikTok review. So.
Yeah, it might be about right. But other than that, tell me, how was the rest of your weekend?
You know, there's some weekends where I wish I was a big Housewives of fucking Oconee County fan,
Yeah.
reality TV fan, cooking show fan. Watch Guy Fieri cook up a fucking steak, shrimp combo and some mashed taters or something. Because I was on suicide watch
Yeah.
all weekend. Just a
Been-
fucking awful
been
weekend
there.
for me. Started out on Saturday with my Tigers losing to the LSU Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Heartbreaking fashion, very frustrating fashion. I ripped my shirt clean off like I was fucking Edge off of WWE.
Well, first off, Hulk Hogan was the one that ripped
Hulk
his shirt
Hogan,
off.
whatever. How's he doing these
You know
days?
about Edge?
How's he doing these days? Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it just started off just horribly, and then yesterday, I would love to see a stat how many laps were led by a non-Toyota, because I guarantee
0?
you it's less than 10. Maybe during green flag pit stops, a Chevy might have led the lead a couple laps, but
John Hunter was the one that stayed out the most, and he was the one up there.
yeah, then he did it I think a couple times too. So yeah, just a fucking awful weekend for me. It's a weekend that I've done put in the rearview mirror. After this podcast, I'm never gonna think about this fucking weekend ever again, and I'm glad to not think about it. It's just a terrible weekend for me, and I can't wait for something to fucking happen good for me. The previous weekend was so good. I was so fired up last weekend, and how the turntables.
Oh, how the turntables.
So yeah, just a bad weekend for me.
Yeah, I know the feeling. I've had plenty of those. 2014 through 2020-ish, Gamecocks were awful.
That's why we drank.
Yeah. Not to mention, same year's Roush was really struggling, minus 2017, which even then, they only won 2 races that year. So, yeah, I've been there. I've had plenty of bad weekends and plenty of bad years. So I get it. However, pretty good weekend for me. I mean, I can't complain too much. Gamecocks went down to Georgia. Atlanta, sorry, I know you got on to me last week for saying Georgia. They went down to Atlanta, played at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and got a pretty decent win over what I think's not a great team, but one's got some talent, Virginia Tech Hokies.
Yeah, y'all didn't look all that great, to be honest with you.
Well, our offense didn't look good, but we didn't give up a touchdown at all on defense, at all in the game, but the defense played really well. I think the offense showed signs that they can be good, just some things to iron out. And South Carolina's kind of struggled in game ones for the past few years, so...
what I said last week, you know, we're going to beat them by 30.
And we should have beat them by more than we did. We outplayed them pretty much for the entire game. And, you know, had a touchdown that, I mean, we can argue whether or not it was a catch. I think it was a catch. Refs thought it wasn't. They called it back. Motherfucker had possession of the ball, got 2 feet in, fell out of bounds, and the ball moved 1/4 of an inch in his arm. And
Not like a game on Saturday night.
yeah, something happened similar in the LSU Clemson game.
Which I thought that was bullshit as well.
That was a catch as well. So,
Coming from a Clemson fan, that was a
yeah,
catch.
but
Should have been worse than what it was. What a dot.
North Carolina might win the ACC.
That wasn't the whole damn thing. They just kicked off against TCU.
But
If you see us going to the left, that's what's,
yeah, we're
with
watching.
our eyes, that's what's going
Yeah, we're
on.
watching North Carolina and TCU play. Which
To be honest with you, though,
I've got a prediction on this game: 21-10 North Carolina.
Oh.
But
be the first ACC team you've gotten right this week.
yeah, yeah, got Florida State wrong. I got Clemson right.
You said Clemson.
I said on the podcast, but then before the game, I was like, LSU's going to win this game.
Bandwagon,
But
switcher Rooney.
well, there's a pick 'em, and it was a close game. But
Not really.
this is a NASCAR podcast, so
Yeah, I'm not watching football no more. I might not watch NASCAR no more.
yeah, facts.
Like I said,
Been there.
Like I said, I might just start watching fucking reruns of Friends.
Yeah, but Sunday, the race was but I was
Well, let's talk about a new setup real quick.
yeah.
Did this today. Think it looks more racier.
It does.
Think it's cool.
Looks like the table's about to get up and go turn left.
This Jeff Gordon car
Sucks.
right here has my name on it. So, he drove this in his last year at Homestead North, New Hampshire, 2015 in the Chase. He got a whole bunch of names. My Nana bought it and signed me my name up to have it's when they were doing the AARP member thing or whatever back in the day, and so my name's on this car. So she got me that and got the die cast for it.
And
So-
you opened it.
Today.
Big dumb.
I'm never going to sell it. It's got my name on it.
Yeah, should have left it in the box.
I can put it in a box again.
Yeah.
Now, I did cut some shit off because you could hardly see it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it. I was going to take it off. I was like, no. I'll just cut the styrofoam off of it so you could see what the hell car, because it had like,
I wonder what happened to that.
it's covered
Yeah.
like here, and then it covered the whole back. And then 789, I think that's his amount of starts. Or maybe that's the amount of people. I can't remember what the 789's for on the top. It's been 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I think this weekend. To the day. So, good time to break it out. But I got my Chase Elliott cars right here. Xfinity, the 9 at the bottom. His first year at Hendrick, the 24, replacing Jeff. And then it's the newest one I have of. I think that's 2021. Last year, the Gen 6 car. With the Xfinity one's got his autograph on it. So, cool things there. And then got the winner. Carl Edwards won this weekend. It's the only 19 car I had. I've fallen way behind on the diecast in recent years. So I got the 2015 Eris Camry for Carl Edwards when he joined the dark side. And so Chase Briscoe, that's why he's up here.
I thought
Chase
that was
Briscoe.
Daniel Suarez.
It looks, same car. And then Jeff's final race, and then got some Dale Senior stuff as well. What's on your side?
Yeah, I got Brad Keselowski up top in the
That's hot.
small diecast. I got Dennis Hamlin there in the middle because I picked him to win this week, and he did beat your pick of Kyle Larson.
Yeah, Kyle Larson has worst Darlington race in fucking history.
And then I got Ricky Stenhouse down at the bottom there.
That's Matt Kenseth.
That is a Matt Kenseth scheme. I was debating between the Stenhouse one and the. Well, I guess that other one was probably a Matt Kenseth one too.
I got a couple Stenhouse ones.
The Zest one is, I think, a Matt Kenseth one that I was looking at. But anyways,
Yeah.
that is Matt Kenseth, Fifth Third Bank car down bottom.
That's his last year before he joined the dark side
Yeah.
as well.
And then, but Ricky drove that same scheme, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Well-
before they switch it to the way better scheme.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got the Dale Senior black number 3. Good wrench over here on the left.
That's the one he won the 500 in.
It is.
98.
After however many years of frustration.
At least 2.
Yeah, maybe 3. But,
I get it.
yeah. So, yeah, that's cool. I think it looks good.
Better than all that other junk on the
Yeah,
thing. And
yeah.
the camera's got a little different.
Yeah,
Shot today.
Switching things up.
Yeah. So
Tell us how you feel about it. Or don't. I don't care.
Me neither.
Because it's going to stay this way. But, yeah. Sunday's race
That's
was...
it. Go Tigers.
Yeah. Which ones? Memphis.
Mizzou.
So the race Sunday, in my opinion, was just average, below average. Obviously, I was kind of already in a good mood leading into the race because South Carolina ended up winning.
I was already in a bad mood.
Yeah, so to be honest with you, really anything other than the 24 or the 5 or the one of those Hendrick cars wrecking a Roush car to win the race wasn't going to piss me off no matter what happened. So, but it wasn't that great of a race. I mean, most of the action was on pit road with a lot of pit road issues, and Chase Briscoe dominated the thing. I mean, if there was no stage breaks, I think he probably would have led pretty much every lap. So, other than pit strategy, it was a good old fashioned ass whooping. That's 2 Southern 500s in a row by Briscoe in 2 different teams, 2 different cars, which.
Well, he didn't whoop the field's ass last year.
No, he
just
didn't,
won
but
it.
he did this year.
Yeah. For sure.
And that is 2 Southern 5. Nothing I said was incorrect, but
Well, I just thought you meant he dominated 2 Southern
no,
500s.
but he won 2 in a row.
Yeah.
And I said to you as soon as the race started, I was like, I can't believe I didn't fucking pick Chase Briscoe.
Well, I thought about it, but I was like, it just seems too good to be true for him to win it again.
Yeah. But he did.
He did. Because he was okay in the spring, but I don't really remember him that well in the spring.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I didn't really want to pick him. And then you go back to Truex's last year or two in the 19 at this track, I don't think he was all that good. So just kind of, I didn't think, I thought about it, but I was like, I don't think he's going. And
Yeah.
he proved me wrong.
Yeah. Locks himself into the round of 12.
He's out the championship for yet?
He's got a strong case of making it, but got a few races in between here and there. But yeah, I mean, as far as my guys go, Brad Keselowski had a loose wheel. Shout out Joey Logano's pit crew for helping us out on that one.
Lucky y'all weren't in the playoffs. They would have said, fuck you.
Off. Yeah, but yeah, so that kind of ruined his day. He was mired back 2 laps down a lot of the race. Got back on the lead lap towards the end there.
Finished 15th.
Finished 15th, which a lot better than he probably deserved.
He was coming at the end. Pause.
Priest was kind of non-existent all day. I mean, I know he ran okay for parts of it. Where did he end up finishing?
16th.
16th, right there behind him. I know he was in the front half of that top 10 there for that last run, started falling off. And then Chris ended up finishing 10th, which he was kind of involved. He wasn't in the wreck, that Josh Berry wreck on lap 1, but he was kind of involved, lost a lot of track position on it, and, who knows if that affected his race at all. But he didn't have a race-winning car anyway. I don't think anybody had anything for Briscoe other than the 45, but it's so tough to pass that it didn't matter. So, racing on track was decent, but not up to Darlington standard in my opinion.
Not at all.
For whatever reason, it just didn't feel like a Darlington Southern 500 at all to me. Didn't really feel like it was that important of a race, even though it was. So kind of disappointed on that. Yeah, I mean, other than the pit road stuff and Josh Berry, I don't really have a ton else to talk about.
No, I mean, not a lot happened other than that. It's if I agree with you, it felt weird. It didn't feel like a Southern 500 because I could be on TV, not showing it, but how many people hit the wall? Usually, you have a Darlington stripe counter that's usually in the 20s or 30s by the end of at minimum. Sometimes it's in the 40s and 50s. Yeah. During a Darlington race, especially Southern 500 or 100 more miles in the spring. And everybody just felt like they could, their cars were handling pretty good. They just couldn't pass. Track position mattered so much that you were kind of stuck where you were if you weren't considerably faster than the guys in front of you. So, yeah, it's just a weird race. Not a lot happened, and for the attrition really only happened on pit road, like you said. Had a lot of pit crews just screw the pooch, and when you can't pass, it just comes down to execution on pit road and keeping that track position. And Briscoe kept it all night. Denny Hamlin, the pole sitter, did not. Had a bad pit stop, I think in the middle of stage 1 or somewhere around there, and could never get back to the top 5. Christopher Bell, he had a decent car, got damage on pit road from Carson Hocevar, and of course Josh Berry taking himself out early lap 1.
Take me out.
That's just something you can't do. And you said last week, I had Josh Berry out of one of my 4 out, and because I just didn't. Now he qualified great, 3rd, but I didn't trust him, and this is why. Like, he had a good car. He's like, he'll be pretty good at Darlington, and
Toby Christie picked him to win the race.
he was. Yeah, so blame him for it. Couldn't even get half a lap in, and he's done fucked it. I don't know if it's just a lot of pressure on him. I know the car got away from him, but he's got to try to get everything he can, keep the track position, and just lost it. And Tyler Reddick did a great job saving that car, and he almost wound up winning the race. So, yeah, and it's just like with Chase Elliott and Blaney, they had bad strategy and bad luck. Blaney getting spun out Alpha 4 on one of those restarts. Kyle Busch got loose in front of him, had to check up, and Austin Dillon, I don't blame Austin Dillon for it. You're not checking up on a restart. You're not expecting somebody to just slow down off a corner and just ran in the back of the 12, spun him out, did some damage to the underbody of the car, and he was never the same after that. I don't think Blaney had a great car, but he probably had an edge top 10 car, maybe. Maybe top 5. I don't know. We never really saw it, but it's just a frustrating day, frustrating weekend, like I said, and it didn't feel like a Southern 500, which is disappointing. I wonder if the cooler temperatures had a factor in that. This is probably the coolest Southern 500 as far as temperature-wise we've seen in a long time since they moved it from April or May to down here at the end of August, early September. So I wonder if that has something to do with it because the car's just more grippier, had more grip because the track wasn't as slick. I don't know what it was, but whatever happened, I don't want to see it again. And, obviously Chase Briscoe dominating the race. We've never 300 laps reminded me of Truex at Charlotte 2016. Kind of same thing there. Although I think the Truex one is still more dominant because he led all but 8 laps or something in that race. He led like 320, 330. So, but 40 laps, 35 laps, they didn't lead. And you had guys that were kind of right there with him at the end. Nobody was near Truex then, that Cup 600. So it wasn't as dominating, but it kind of felt like it. And they didn't make a mistake. They had voltage problems near the end of stage 1, and it kind of got lucky. Just nothing happened to where they needed to make an extensive a stop and lose track position because as good as Briscoe was, I don't think he wins the race if he has to pit for a second time or loses voltage on a green flag run and, he loses, half a lap. I don't think he's catching whoever the leader would have been at that point. So, yeah, just a bad race, 4 out of 10. I knew it was too good to be true. He had a good Richmond race, had a good Daytona race, 3 weeks in a row. Should have expected it. We weren't going to get 3 good races in a row in this season. And go to Gateway this weekend, and we'll see what happens there. But Gateway is really another type of track where it could put on decent racing, but I'm really not expecting it to. But we'll get into that a little bit later at the end of the episode. But yeah, it's overall just a frustrating weekend, frustrating race for me, and just ready to move on.
Yeah. This is a wild stat.
Give it to me.
Herschel McGriff
Who?
started 44th in the inaugural Southern 500 at Darlington in 1950.
That's the guy that won by 10 laps because he never pitted.
I have no idea where he finished.
Oh.
I don't think Herschel McGriff won it. He might have. He raced against Derek Kraus in the ARCA West Series race in 2018.
Good Lord.
Derek Kraus
He raced this weekend.
drove the number 44 in the 75th annual Southern 500.
Caught fire, too, because of crappy-ass parts.
Yep. But that's crazy.
That is a wild stat. Damn. How old is Derek Kraus?
7.
At least. Maybe 8.
Could be 10.
Yeah, well, Chase Briscoe locked himself into the playoffs. Locked himself into the round of 12 with his win at Darlington this past weekend. So he's advanced to the round of 12. But some other playoff guys are not breathing a sigh of relief off their performances this past weekend at the Tricky Triangle at the track Too Tough to Tame. So Briscoe's advanced. You got Denny Hamlin second, plus 43. Had a good point stay. Probably wanted more, but couldn't make it through the field at the end. Larson, who had a pretty average to bad day, is still 38 points above. Reddick had a great day, finished second, got a lot of stage points. He was below the cut line. He's now 35 above. Bubba Wallace got a solid finish. He's 25th or 25 points above. Same with William Byron in sixth. Had a very mediocre day as well. Alla Hendrick had a weird. That's the worst Hendrick performance I've ever seen at Darlington, maybe ever. I mean, Chase Elliott was the best one at the end of the day and finished 17th. That's crazy. Blaney 22 above the cut line. Ross Chastain had a good day. He's 21 above the cut line now. Cindric is 12 above the cut line. Christopher Bell had a bad day. He's only 11 points above. Chase Elliott, surprisingly, is 9 points above, considering how kind of lackluster they ran. And then Shane Van Gisbergen is 3 above. Like we said last week, he was probably going to be on the cut line going into Gateway this weekend, and we were right. He actually had a decent car, but the strategy really just didn't work out in his favor. And then Joey Logano had a very mediocre day. He is 3 points below. Austin Dillon is -8. Alex Bowman had a terrible day, finished in, I think, 31st. He's 19 below. And Josh Berry, considering he wrecked out lap 1 and was below the cut line to start the race, he's only 19 below as well. So all things considered, that's not too bad for the 21 team. So,
well, he got that extra point for having the fastest lap.
Yeah. One race in, he was like 2 miles an hour quicker than the fastest lap. Unless somebody got a better one. Not better than him, but somebody got better than the one we saw at the end of the race or something like that. So, Riley, one race in, who you feeling good about, who you nervous about, who surprised you, and all that jazz.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still worried about Shane. I'm still worried about Austin Dillon, Josh Berry, Alex Bowman. I think Joey Logano will be fine.
Really?
Yeah, he'll be good this weekend.
We said that this past
You'd
weekend.
think.
Yeah.
I'm going to give all the Fords a pass. The top finishing Ford driver
was Chris Buescher
in 10th. Okay? There was not a Ford in the top 9. All right? And there is only one Chevy in the top 10, 2 Chevys in the top 10.
Ross was one of them.
Yeah, Ross and
Kyle Busch.
Okay, so there's 3. Ross, Kyle Busch,
AJ.
and AJ. Which AJ had a really good week.
He did. Got a top 5, didn't he? Passed Bubba.
I think he finished
for 5th.
So you had AJ 5th, Kyle. It was Carson. Finished 9th.
So 4.
AJ, Kyle, Carson.
Where did Ross finish?
11th.
Oh, okay, just missed out.
So Chris Buescher and
That's why he had to save fuel because they didn't get the fuel tank.
So I'm gonna give
Full.
the Fords in the playoffs, a bit of a pass for Daytona Darlington, because it didn't seem like the Fords had good enough speed to compete this weekend. They were all no shows. Chris was pretty much the best running one all day in the middle, 10th to 15th range. So, kind of sucked that in that aspect. But as far as the playoff goes, this weekend should be good for Penske. They've been good here in the past. So Joey, I think, will be okay. And then next week, it's kind of its own, monster. They could show up and be really good. They could show up and be really bad. Neither one would really surprise me. Mm-hmm. But I think Shane is in trouble, like really in trouble. I think Austin Dillon is really in trouble.
Yeah, I think this week was the time for him. And he had a good car.
Yeah.
He just fell off.
Yeah, it just didn't seem
Qualified top 10.
Yeah. I think Bowman is really in trouble too.
Yeah.
In danger of not making it in trouble. 19 points out.
This is probably his
Hendrick
best track.
Sucks at Gateway.
Yeah, this round.
It's the worst track for Hendrick.
Yeah.
Alex Bowman's not known for his Bristol racing. So I think you 48 fans are in trouble.
Zach?
I think, true.
True.
I know that you're not happy with Chase, and you picked him not to make the next round, and he didn't have a very good day. But I think he'll be okay as well. I think he'll be good enough at Bristol this weekend. We'll see. But I think with Shane Van Gisbergen there, with Austin Dillon, Josh Berry, Alex Bowman, I think as long as Chase is average, he'll be all right. And then everybody above Chase, I think they'll have good days. So,
Anybody safe, obviously, other than
Briscoe.
Other than Briscoe.
Denny should be all right. I think he'll be good at both these next few races. I mean, he's going to have to.
I don't know about Gateway, but Bristol he should be.
He's going to have some catastrophic issues, being 43 points up. As long as he can finish top 15 the next 2 races, I think he'll be okay. Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, those guys probably the same thing.
Those guys just can't afford a wreck.
Yeah.
They should
just show up, qualify 15th, run 15th, get a stage point here or there. You'll be all right. I mean, even Bubba and William being 25 up, they're not safe, but, you know, like I said, get some stage points, finish 15th to 10th, they'll be all right. Blaney's 22 to the good, Ross 21 to the good. I think all those guys should be comfortable. Now, they're not, you know, they can't pack it up and, you know, not try, but they should be all right. Cindric is when it starts to get a little hairy because, like I said, you know, I think they'll be okay this weekend, but if they're not, Bristol might be tough for them. So they might be finding themselves on the cutoff line at the end of Bristol. Christopher Bell, like I said, should be all right. I'm not really worried for Chase, but Shane Van Gisbergen's the one that I'm looking forward to. Not looking forward to, but looking at as probably swapping with Joey. And to be honest with you, I think it's going to end up being Josh, Alex, Austin, and Shane not making it.
And Josh. Did you say Josh?
Yeah, Josh, Alex, Austin, and Shane.
Okay, I got you.
Are going to be the 4 out, which is Bowman instead of Cindric compared to what I picked last week.
Yeah, I think the guy that's got the most pressure going into Gateway this weekend, as far as how the points go, is Austin Cindric. He didn't have a terrible Darlington, not a great Darlington. He did. I think he did. He did. He was he below the cut line before it started?
I think so. No, he was above it.
He was above it.
Yeah.
So he gained a little bit. I think he definitely wasn't 12 above before going to Darlington. So it was a net gain for Cindric. But you look at the guys behind him, big hitters, Joey, Christopher, Chase, even if you throw Alex Bowman in that mix. And Gateway is one of Austin Cindric's best tracks. He won this race last year. Ran good. Bristol, like I said, I don't know about Austin at Bristol. So if he has a bad week this weekend, it's really going to, I don't see him making it to the next round if he does not have a good weekend this weekend. Christopher Bell's another interesting one. I know he had a bad weekend this weekend, but that 20 team has been so inconsistent since their early season win streak. Now, I know it really wasn't his, it kind of was his fault on Sunday. Not his fault, but his team's fault with the Carson Hocevar thing. Like, they have to be careful.
He blamed it on Carson.
His team. Which, that's just a racing deal because Blaney is getting done with his stop right then and there. So Carson can't just stop or Blaney's going to run over him. So he tried to get in there real quick, and the 20 was done with their stop too. It's a bad...
Shit happens.
Shit happens, yeah. And I know Christopher Bell's big reason, he calls the caution. He shouldn't be trying to get everything he can. But like I said, if the 12 wasn't about to be done with his stop, yes, I'd put it a lot on Carson and his team.
The car leaving the pit is the one that's
in charge
of not wrecking.
Yes. And
it's your responsibility, not the car coming into the pit.
Yeah, and this Carson got between a sandwich of the 12 and the 20. He's like, both of them are getting ready to, I got one behind me and one in front of me. Like, what am I supposed to do here? And kind of just a freak deal. But, yeah, Christopher, he almost won this race last year until he had motor problems late. He should be very good this weekend. But if he's not, he's going to have to do well at Bristol. And Christopher Bell at Bristol's never been his best track. It's a solid track for him. Good track for JGR. That'll be sketchy. Now, I will say this. With Chase, 9 points above is way better than I thought it was going to be leaving Darlington. 17th, and he gained 2 points on the cut line. The good thing that he's got going for him, he's got the guys, other than one guy behind him that I don't think are going to outrun him
at least
all that bad in the next 2 races. The only one that I'm worried about is Joey. I think Joey will outrun him the next 2 races probably.
He should.
Shane shouldn't outrun him. Austin Dillon shouldn't outrun him. Bowman, they're the same equipment, and he's got a 28-point gap over him, and Josh Berry shouldn't outrun him. So that makes me feel better as a Chase Elliott fan. But still got to be careful. You have a wreck, Gateway, you run fucking 25th, 30th, you're in trouble. I don't think that 9-team will, but we've seen it before. And everybody else above that, Ross, I'm pretty confident on him. He's pretty good at Bristol. He's okay at Gateway. Blaney, I feel real strong about Blaney. He's fine, as long as he don't wreck or blow a motor. He's good at Gateway and he's good at Bristol. Byron, Bubba, Reddick. I think one of those guys will have a problem, though, and it might get a little close for one of them.
Yeah.
I just don't know who it's going to be. But if I'm Joey Logano, worst Darlington race ever, and you're only 3 points below after you came in, I think 1 point above or 1 point below, I can't remember.
That's
a pretty good net gain or a pretty good end for Joey. I think he'll be better this weekend, and he'll be okay at Bristol, I think.
The guys that were out to start this round were Josh, Alex Bowman, Austin Dillon, and Tyler Reddick.
Reddick, yes, right. And Reddick obviously took the biggest step ahead.
Went from 1 out to 35 up.
Yeah,
so 36-point swing.
Yeah, so big weekend for him. But this could be one of the, like last year when we went to Bristol and last year, the cut line was pretty simple. Like it was pretty clear that the people below it, like Brad, like Ty Gibbs, like Truex, they had to win the race because there was such a big gap. This year, because it was so close to start, Bristol in a couple weeks could make it entertaining because of how close the cut line is. You can see some guys going for it at the end of the race. If they can do anything about it, I don't know if they will be able to. But Bristol in 2 weeks might be interesting just based off the cut line. Because this could be between 4 or 5 guys that are within like 6 points of each other. The way I'm starting to think it might go, because I could see Ross falling back. I could see Cindric falling back. I could see, obviously, Shane's probably going to fall back. I think I could see Joey jump ahead. I could see Bowman have 2 really good weeks and be right there. Then it's between him and Chase. If Chase doesn't execute well, if Christopher Bell has another bad weekend, you got, like you said, if you have Bubba Wallace, just pull up old Bubba Wallace and wreck out lap 5, he's going to drop down. Then a lot of pressure on him at Bristol. So, I mean, it could be very interesting, and it's going to be, like I said, I don't like this playoff system. But when it is this close, it does create some drama. It does create some intrigue. It creates storylines that we wouldn't have if we didn't have this. This is one of the years where I think the cut line is going to be very, very close in the first and second rounds. Usually, it's pretty clear, especially the first round. It's usually the 4 guys below have to win. It's too far, but maybe a couple points here and there, but it's usually pretty and what's going to happen. Who's going to advance.
Yeah.
Second round might get a little, and then the round of 8 is usually always close with points. But I think this year we could have all 3 rounds line up to where it could all be 3 or 4 guys within 6-7 points of each other. And that will be fun to see. It'd be interesting to see who will be in that little cluster. And winning never mattered more in this first round because of how close everything is.
Yeah. I will say this about Shane. I do think Shane will have a good race this weekend for his standards.
Really? He's never raced here.
It's for some reason it just feels like this is a type of racetrack that might suit his driving style as far as ovals go. I think he might be able to adapt to this relatively quickly, compared to other ovals that he's never been to before. But I will say this as well. I don't think a good race for his standards is going to be good enough. I think if he runs 15th,
unless the pit crews fuck up again, and
yeah, that's true.
Have another bad weekend.
I think, like I said, I think he'll be okay. I think we'll come out of it, and we'll be like, hey, Shane did a good job. It just wasn't good enough, and just needs a little bit more experience in these type of racetracks.
I could see him being 12 to 15 points below going into
I don't
Bristol.
think it'll be that much. I think it'll be like closer to 5.
Okay.
I think he'll lose a couple points here or there because the problem is like
all you gotta do, all Joey has to do is get 3 points, 3 positions ahead of him, and he's going to do that with flying colors, I believe.
Yes.
And then he's got
But
6 points
like
to
I said,
gain on
but
Chase.
if,
11
would you be
to gain on
surprised? Would you
Christopher.
be surprised if
Or 6?
Shane
8.
finished 15th and Joey finished 10th? I wouldn't.
I would. With Shane 18th, I could see Joey finishing 10th, but I don't see Shane finishing top 20 this weekend.
I mean, but if he does,
If he does,
if he finishes
carnage happens.
15th's not that difficult.
A couple playoff
I mean, it
guys
is
wreck.
not. It's not easy, but 15th is like that's. If I told you, hey, Shane finished 15th this week, you'd be like, okay, that may mean. I mean, he kind of overachieved a little bit, but like that's not unheard of.
I think he has a better chance of doing that at Bristol than he does.
I
at
see. I think
Gateway.
it's the opposite.
Well, he's raced at Bristol before.
Sure.
And we've seen Shane make drastic improvements.
Sure.
Second time around, he's gone to a track this year. We've only had a couple, but Daytona 500, he was he didn't do nothing that I remember. This summer race, he was up there in the top 5 or 10 for a decent amount of the race.
Yeah.
I know it's Daytona. It's a little different there.
But what you also aren't taking in consideration is a lot of these guys don't have a ton of experience at Gateway either. Like it's not
That's
like they
fair.
have years and years and years of experience at
That's
this
fair.
track over him. So obviously I got years and years and years of oval experience, but it's not a track we've been racing at for 30 years. So I think he's got a good opportunity to have a decent race to keep it close for Bristol. And then hopefully for him, he's, like I said, 3, 5, 7 points out. And, one of the guys in front of him has a real bad day at Bristol, and he outruns the 48, the 21, and the 3, and gets in because somebody has a bad day at Bristol. That's his only way of getting in. He's got to have a decent weekend this weekend to keep it close.
Yeah. Who's the guy that is pretty comfortable in points, 2nd through 8th, over 20 points above, but you could see kind of falling closer to the cut line by the time Bristol rolls around? Bubba?
What's he right now, 25?
25, yeah.
Yeah, 25 points. Looks like a lot on paper. It's 2 stages, and you're on the cut line. I don't really have a lot of faith in him at Gateway for whatever reason. And I don't really have a lot of faith in him at Bristol. I think Bristol's going to be kind of dominated by probably the Hendrick guys. I think the Hendrick guys will be good at Bristol. Hopefully the Roush guys are good. Can't say for sure. Penske will probably be decent. You'll have Denny and a couple of the JGR guys will probably be good there. But and I could be wrong. This could be me forgetting a race or two. But I just don't remember a race at Bristol where I was like, 23 cars got a shot today.
I think he was pretty good when we went there last year, I think.
I don't remember anything about that. I was ready to go home 100 laps in.
Yeah, me too.
But, I feel like he could struggle the next couple races, which I still think he'll be fine. I think he'll be good enough, especially with a 25-point cushion. But it wouldn't surprise me if I think Byron will have a better next couple weeks. I think Blaney will have a better next couple weeks. Ross, he'll probably run around. Bubba, that's another one I think could fall back a little bit, even though I think he'll be all right at Gateway. Cindric, it's really dependent on this weekend. Christopher Bell should be fine, and Chase, I think, will outrun him. So I think he probably will be out of the top 12 guys. He'll probably be at best the 10th best driver the next 2 weeks on average.
I think it's William Byron, tied with him. And I know he's regular season champion. We've seen this before, how the regular season champion. For some reason, the regular season champion, first round, it's always more stressful than it should be. I mean, you think about it, 2022 Chase Elliott. I mean, he made it, obviously. He made it the championship for that year, but wrecked out, finished last at Darlington. I was there. We were both there when he wrecked out 2022.
It's a great race.
And he was close. It's like he only made it by 12, 15 points. The next year, Truex, he fucking ran awful the whole round. He ran awful the whole playoffs, but he able to advance to the round of 12, but barely. I think at Bristol it was really close.
Yeah.
There's something about this regular season champion. I think Larson's the only one in recent memory in the section car where Larson, I think he was fine last year. It was Reddick who won the championship.
Reddick last year.
I think Reddick was fine last year. But I think Byron, I think Gateway is his worst track. It's Hendrick's worst track. Has a bad weekend like he did this weekend. Falls down, and he's pretty good at Bristol, but it could get sketchy. Bristol is slotty. If I'm William Byron, if I'm a William Byron fan, 25 points, yeah, it's better than being 25 below. But I'm not comfortable, and I'm sure they're not either. I'm sure they're embarrassed on how they ran it. Darlington as a whole organization. Now, they were all bad. So, William Byron, this was his best track out of this round. And he left a lot of meat on the bone at his best track in this round. And if you have two bad races after this one where, those it might be close. It might be close on lap 450 at Bristol if he's running, 15th and he's 2 points above. And you got a hard charging Joey Logano on fresh tires or something, trying to make his way up to the top 10. It could get close. So if I'm William Byron, I'm not feeling great either. But I kind of agree with you on Bubba. I think Bubba and William are kind of the two that I could see falling. Maybe Ross, but Ross had a good weekend this weekend. And that was key for him to gain a decent amount of points on the cut line. I think he did a good job of that. And he should be okay. Gateway's been decent for him, and Bristol has been a hit or miss track for him as well. So, we'll have to see. But I think it's gonna come down to the wire. Lap 500 at Bristol. We might not know until everybody takes a checker flag.
For sure.
All right. We got some lawsuit talk that got heated on
Jim
that.
France needs to die.
Go ahead. Give me all you got.
Denny says
You know more about this than I do.
Jim France needs to die. Michael Jordan said, what the hell did Michael say?
He said JGR and other teams were pussies or
Pussies
something.
for signing the charter agreement.
Yeah.
There was some other crazy shit that was said. What else was said? Why is my brain not working?
Rarely is it. But they had the injunction hearing.
Yeah.
Last Thursday or whenever it was,
Mm-hmm.
and apparently text messages got leaked with Judge. Who's been the judge of this?
Joe Brown.
I think it is Brown.
It's not Joe Brown.
It's not Joe Brown, but it's something like that, isn't it? Keith Whitley.
Keith Whitley.
Kenneth Bell.
Yes.
That's it. Kenneth Bell. And he's like, man, he's like, this is not a guarantee that either one of these teams are going to win. We're going to burn this thing to the ground, and Kenneth is like, if any team or any side feels like they're going to win, they are sadly mistaken. And just a lot of crazy shit that went on last week that we really weren't expecting, for it to be like that. We were just kind of expecting another injunction. Okay, let's get through this, all this blah, blah, blah stuff. And it went anything but normal. I mean, it's like I think if NASCAR wins the lawsuit, it still will change the course of how NASCAR is run because of how this lawsuit has went down. They will probably go on to own all the tracks. We kind of talked about that last week. But so I think the way it's going to go down is if 2311 wins, NASCAR probably will get rid of the charter system. They'll have to. And then NASCAR will have to sell all their tracks, possibly. And maybe the ARCA series, based on how it's going to work.
One of the things, Steve Phelps stated that that a proposal that they sent the teams was a 0 win for the team, and that the draft must reflect a middle position because where did it go? I just lost it. Whatever agreement that they were proposing to the team was a fuck the teams deal, which in his defense, he was saying like, "Hey, we have to give them more than what we're thinking about offering here." Yeah, I mean, it was just a.
It's starting to remind me of the IndyCar split.
Yep.
And if it gets to that point, you know how that worked out. They went out of business.
Yep.
I don't want that to happen.
I mean, that's definitely a no-win situation for sure.
But yeah, because 2311 is saying NASCAR is being a monopoly in this situation, and if NASCAR wins, then I don't see how they don't just take all the power.
Well, they've already got it all.
And they got
that's
most
what the
of it.
lawsuit is about.
They got most of it.
They own the cars. They don't own the physical parts and pieces. But they own the intellectual rights to the cars. You're not allowed to drive those cars anywhere but at NASCAR sanctioned events. They own the tracks. They own everything. You don't own anything other than a spot in the race when you own a NASCAR team. And that's what a monopoly is. I mean, they own the tools, they own the parts, they own the pieces, they own the venue, they own the broadcast deals, they own everything. And that's what 2311's gripe is here, is that like, hey, you know, you're kind of fucking us, and you have all the power, and we don't have any say in how the sport goes forward. And if you want to fuck us at any time, you can, and that's what you're doing right now. And, you know, obviously they're saying some wild shit, which, you know, I ain't going to lie to you. There's some group chats on my phone that I probably wouldn't want aired out in open court either.
I wonder how did they ever say how that got leaked?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy.
But, you know,
we got a Job somewhere.
Yeah, that's what it is. But you know, it's it's pretty crazy to see what this is turning into, because it definitely looks like it's headed for, you know, a fiery crash at the end of this, because neither of the sides are going to give in. This is 100% going to go to trial. And,
yeah, I don't see it not going to trial now.
You know, I do think that the best possible ending for this, if it does go to trial, is the teams winning, because I do think they're right. I heard a report the other day that NASCAR is trying to buy SMI. Yeah. And if that's the case, they would own every single NASCAR track that they race at. So every race is owned by, every track that they go to would be owned by NASCAR. The intellectual rights to the car would be owned by NASCAR. The broadcast would be owned by NASCAR. Everything is NASCAR's decision, and that is not good for the teams at all. And I don't think it would be good for the sport either, because it seems like NASCAR does not have the sport's health in its and this is something that you know, Jeff Gordon,
who
Michael Jordan said, like, NASCAR does not have the health of the sport in mind. They have making money in mind. And, you know, which is kind of counterintuitive, because the healthier the sport, the more money they're going to make, because the fans are going to pay more money to watch. And, you know, there's going to be more of us. And you know, rising tides lift all boats kind of thing. And I could definitely see a future in NASCAR where NASCAR makes a couple bad decisions that forces fans away. You know,
they've been doing that for 20
stop me
years.
if you've heard this story before, but it's going to get worse if NASCAR is given the affirmation that, hey, it's yours, go do with it what you want. Obviously, you know, you and I have, you know, our own opinions on this next-gen car and, decisions that are made by NASCAR and decisions that have been being made by NASCAR since the mid-'90s, whether that be taking races away from, places that care about NASCAR to put them in places that don't, whether that be changing the playoffs to appease fans that don't exist or that are minimal, and alienating the majority to please the minority. These are all things that you can look at that NASCAR has a history of doing, and if they keep doing it and are given the A-OK to keep doing it, I think that's going to be a bad thing, and I think Michael Jordan thinks that as well. And obviously Michael Jordan's in the business to make money. He wouldn't be spending all this money for fun. Now, granted, there's some truth in that. Like, he's a fucking multi-millionaire, probably close to a billionaire.
I think he is. There's
He
no
might
doubt.
be a billionaire.
He's got to be a billionaire.
But he's got a lot of money, and he's got some to play with. And there is some aspect of this that is just a hobby for him. I think that's one of the texts that leak is that he's lost more money in casinos than what he stands to lose if this goes wrong for him in the future. But
yeah, $3.8 billion.
so they're
the billionaire.
NASCAR will be healthier if they lose this, which is weird to say, but I think in the future this will be better for NASCAR if they lose than if they win.
Well, then it goes back to with them they're going to sell the charters off that they took from 12-11 in front row. Well, then how does, again, I mean, we talked about it last week, how, and you said this, NASCAR can lose a lot of money if this goes wrong for them.
That's good. They have to start making a little bit better decisions. They need to quit thinking with a hard head. They need to open their minds a little bit because.
And the people that say, well, the France family, Big Bill never backed down from nobody. They go about the race at Talladega back in the 60s or whatever it was. We were going to run with you or without you, with the Cup guys saying that they didn't feel safe running. And they ran a race with the damn.
Well, guess what? They had the cars to do it.
Yeah.
But if they keep alienating the teams now, they're not gonna.
Is it kind of like a Jerry Jones thing?
I was literally
Dallas
just about
Cowboys?
to say that. Even though I agree with Jerry more than I agree with Micah, but it's a similar argument, right? Because
Just stubborn.
Jerry is stubborn. He offered him $40.5 million to Micah Parsons. Micah didn't want to take it. They end up trading him. He gets $48 million a year with Green Bay.
Go back. Go.
Doesn't sound like a ton, but I mean that's $8 million. But
And they could have got him for like 35 in the spring.
yeah, Jerry probably would. Now he gonna make money anyway. I mean, it's the most valuable sports franchise in America.
Yeah, I think it's like worth like $10 billion or something.
They're gonna be fine,
Maybe more.
no matter what. They're gonna be okay. But I think they probably would have been a little bit. I think if Jerry would have spent the extra $8 million on Micah Parsons, yeah, he probably going to lose money in the short term, but the team's going to be better. So you're probably going to make that up on the back end, and your team will be healthier for it. Same with NASCAR. If NASCAR loses this lawsuit, they're probably going to lose money in the short term, but it is going to be better for them in the long term because the health of the sport will actually be better. You'll have more teams interested in joining the sport. The teams will be able to get more sponsorship. If the teams have more of a say, I think the racing will be better. And if the racing's better, you have more fans. And if you have more fans, you make more money. So, again, it's a short-term loss for a long-term gain. And I think what NASCAR is looking at is they don't want the short-term loss. They're looking at what's directly ahead of them, not thinking about the future, which is a similar thing, like I said, that they've been doing since the mid-'90s, is they've been, cutting off their arm to spite their neck. They're making split-second decisions that are they think are going to help now, and it might help for 5-10 minutes, but at the end of the day, it's going to be a net negative for them. And I think if they win the lawsuit, it'll be green in the checkbook for a little while, but it's going to end up biting them further on down the line.
Yeah, I mean, you said a lot of what I kind of agree with you on. It's just, I would love to sit here and say it's going to end good for both NASCAR and 2311 and Front Row, but it's just not. And if NASCAR loses this lawsuit, I think down the road it probably is better for the sport. But I don't know. I really don't know. If NASCAR wins, they have all control, which they almost have all control now. It's just it's going to turn into Formula One, and it's like they can say to Rick Ware Racing, you know what? We don't want you racing no more.
Yeah.
What Formula One does, that certain teams, certain drivers, certain sponsors, we don't want you. Fuck off.
Yeah.
We're too good for you. And that's never what NASCAR should ever be about. And it's just like everything these days, everything's so corporate. And big businesses control the world. Amazon runs this world. You get a certain, you get power. All you think about is getting more power. And that's where NASCAR is at right now. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make sure that they run this sport where they have total control and they want to do everything, the racing, the business side of it, the sponsor side of it. You get to a point where they could have total control over everything in the sport. Look at the car. It's a spec car. They don't allow these teams to work to build their own race cars anymore. At least in the Cup Series. You think that's coincidence?
It's for power.
It's for
they
power.
They want to be in control of it.
Like, you're going to run this car that we give you. Instead of, all right, bring it to the track, and, as long as it passes inspection, we'll let it go. No. They want more power. And I just don't think that's healthy. I get it. If you're NASCAR side, you want all the power in the world, but it's not going to lead to a good end, and you're going to continue to, like you said, alienate this fan base until there's not many of us left. And many of the drivers have spoke out, not on this, but just on how NASCAR has been going, and they haven't made all bad decisions, but a lot of the decisions they've been making over the past 15, 20 years, from when we were rivaling NFL in TV ratings, that's all they care about, to now, we get lucky if we get 3 million viewers, if it's not Daytona or Talladega or, Indianapolis. It's not good. I don't see how NASCAR can say that they're doing everything they can to make this sport better when it has been declining. It hasn't declined as bad in the past couple of years as it was, but it's still not going in a huge positive direction either. So, I don't know. It's just about the France family not realizing that, yes, they built this sport. They founded the sport. But not every decision that you think you're making is for the best of your sport. Sometimes you're in the wrong. And I just don't think the France family will ever admit to that. Because when NASCAR got big, Big Bill never backed down. Bill France Jr. never backed down. And it worked out for him. So I still think they have that in the back of their minds, like, hey, we're the France family. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We know what's best for NASCAR. And you don't. Because the world changes, times change, and you have to adapt to those changes in a correct manner and not just go by what will give you the most power, give you the most money, and give you the most control.
Yeah, they can't see the forest through the trees, and I think it's going to take somebody stepping in from the outside.
Can you smell your own shit on your knees? That's not how it goes. How's it go?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The beautiful people.
The beautiful people. The beautiful people.
Can't see the forest through the trees, and you can't smell your own shit on your knees.
Ah.
That's what you should have sung.
Yeah. Anyways,
NASCOURT. We're done.
yeah. Hit a button.
RTT.
Ripping the topics.
RTT this week. Obviously, the playoffs started this past weekend at Darlington.
Did they?
And Jeff Gluck and Jordan Bianchi interviewed all 16 drivers on their podcast to Tear It Down. Check it out. Hopefully, they'll give us a shout out one of these days if they ever come across it.
Doubt it.
Yeah, doubt it. But some playoff guys had some interesting remarks regarding the playoff system and the format. And I think it's a little interesting thing to talk about. Joey Logano, the 3-time champion, last year's champion.
1 time, 2 time, 3 time.
A lot of people say he's benefited from this playoff format, or else he wouldn't have any championships to his name. He defended it. I get it. You know, he said he did say that he'd be okay with them messing around with it in the future. I'm not going to quote all these guys, but Joey said, according to the playoff format, I love it. I know people say, oh, it's because it works for you. I know, sure. But I do think it's very exciting. Then they Jordan, I think, asked him, you know, how does it feel that people kind of use you as the bulletin board material to say why this playoff format sucks and why it's wrong, and asked Joey how he feels about it. He's like, yeah, it pisses me off. Like it, you know. He's like, I win under what the format's given to me, and I get that, 100%. But then you got guys he's in the minority when it comes to this playoff format, and I know it's because guys have won championships off of it, but even Chase Elliott has said he's won a championship off this format. He's like, I like a 36-race schedule. He said that in the past. Chris Rebel last week said it. It's like, I just think 36 races, you get a more deserving and more legitimate champion if you do it that way. You don't do this 10-race thing and don't do the final race. One winner take all and stuff like that. And then you had Chris Buescher saying similar remarks, saying, I've always been a full season format guy. I think it rewards consistency, and I know Chris Buescher's one of the more consistent drivers in the Cup Series. Same thing with the Joey Logano thing. He's like, I think it fits our sport better than doing it like we've been doing it. Then Austin Dillon said an interesting one. He said other sports in recent memory, in all sports, a lot of sports anyway, he said they've gone away from being the best and consistent all year to win championships. We've seen this in other sports. He says, he mentioned the Braves 3 years ago, or I guess it was 4 years ago. They were a 500 baseball team at the All-Star break. They made some trades in the trade deadline and got hot and won the World Series. Wasn't because they were the best team all year. They were the best team at the right time. We've seen that with the Chiefs a couple years ago. We've seen it, in football and in basketball. A few years with the who was it? The not the Celtics, not the Thunder, but who the Bucks.
Bucks, the Nuggets.
The Nuggets, well, they were kind of the best team. Basketball, it's not been as bad, but he's just saying in other sports,
it's 2003 Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay, that's a Shaq and Kobe, my boy.
Who?
So he's just saying like other sports have been with more playoff spots now in all these sports. It rewards the teams for getting hot at the right time, just like in NASCAR. Joe Logano, Ryan Blaney. The past 3 years with this format, they have gotten hot at the right time before the playoffs, in the playoffs, and won a championship because they were not the best drivers all year. And also Dillon's like, it's other sports, and we're doing the same thing. As in, like, I think we need to reward consistency. We need to reward, the best drivers throughout the whole season have a better chance of them winning it because it would create a more legitimate champion. So, Joey's kind of in the box. I think you said Ryan Blaney kind of agrees with it as well, with Joey's take, and obviously they've been the past 3 champions of this format. But based off all these drivers saying kind of with this playoff format, a lot of them don't like it. And yeah, they're not champions. That might be why they don't like it. If they won a championship, like I said, Chase Elliott won it in 2020. He thinks a full season format's the best way to go about it. Riley, I know how you stand on it, but what's your reaction to all these drivers kind of coming out and saying all these things?
I'll say this,
The Austin Dillon one's the most interesting one because that's a really good point. I never thought of it like that. Pick six.
Remind me what Austin said.
He just said other sports, and NASCAR's gotten in this mentality of rewarding the teams and drivers that get hot at the right times instead of being the best drivers all year.
Yeah, and that's where I was going to go with it is that, baseball used to be, your division winners made the playoffs.
That was it.
And that was it. And now they've started watering down the playoffs, and I think it's hurt the playoffs in baseball.
Hell, go back. Go to college football this past year.
I was getting
Ohio
there.
State. Yeah,
I was getting there. I think the playoff. Now I'll say this. I think college football deserves the playoffs. I think playoffs are a net positive for college football, but there is a drawback to it, and that's that the regular season doesn't matter as much. I know you're really upset that Clemson lost to LSU. I know you are, but when you're 10-1 or 9-1 going into the Carolina game,
10-1.
Yeah, 10-1 going into the Carolina game, you're not going to care. I mean, you are going to care, but you're going to say, all right, we got to beat Carolina. We got to win the ACC championship, and we're going to be in the playoffs. We're going to have a chance to win the championship. That LSU game's not going to matter to you. Just like right now, in the NASCAR Cup Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the NASCAR Truck Series, nobody gives a fuck who won the COTA race. Nobody cares who won Spring Bristol. Like, it doesn't matter because you're in the playoffs. Now that the playoffs start, the previous 26 races do not matter at all. Now, they matter
playoff points.
They matter a little bit for playoff points, but guess what? Austin Dillon, Alex Bowman, they don't give a fuck about playoff points other than the fact that they don't have any. So show up this weekend and win. Doesn't matter. The rest of the races don't matter. Just like if you won the Daytona 500, the next 35 races or the next 25 races you're spending, you want to win. Like, that's why you're there. But you're already in the playoffs. You know that you have a chance to win the championship. So it's 25 races of trying to build a lead in points because you know that it gets reset and that you're going to have that lead when it comes down to it, because one bad race in the playoffs and you're fucked. Now, again, if you want to look at stick and ball sports, one bad game in the playoffs and you're out. Two bad games in a wild card game or wild card series in baseball, you're done. 4 bad games in a best of 7 series, you're out. I get it, but NASCAR is not a stick and ball sport, and you're diluting the importance of the championship when you fiddle with either formats or you allow. I mean, hell, in basketball, they've got what? How many? 8 teams make the playoffs. 4 make the play-in.
The top 7, or is it 6?
I think it's 7.
7, and then 8 and 9 play, or 8 and 9 play to play the. I think it's 7
9
and
and 10 play to play the 8th seed for the last spot.
I think it's the top 6. I think it's 7 and 8 play to play the 2 seed. The loser of that game plays the winner of the 9 and 10.
That's right. Whatever.
Yeah.
More than half of the teams make the fucking playoffs in the NBA.
Or at least to play in.
Yeah, but that's ridiculous. Just like 16 drivers, if we're going to have a playoff, is too many in NASCAR. But we're not a stick and ball sport. If you want a legitimate champion, you crown it by who is the best driver throughout the year. We're not stick and ball sports. The best team doesn't always win the Super Bowl, but most of the time they play for it. Most of the time they're in the game.
Well, I mean, you could argue that most of the time the best driver makes the championship 4. Most of the time in NASCAR.
But do they all?
They don't ever
They don't
really
have a
win
chance to win the championship, really?
Well,
because you're going to lose to fucking Penske.
Yeah.
Which, hell, I don't really have that big of a problem with Ryan Blaney winning a championship. I don't have a problem with Joey winning the championship. But, when you go to Phoenix, if a Penske car's in the goddamn Final Four, you're kind of fucked.
Good luck.
You're kind of fucked. Like, sorry, they're probably going to win it.
It's kind of like it's a little different, but it's like playing a Super Bowl at somebody else's stadium, kind of. Like the team that kind of was mediocre all
what
year.
What it's like is starting the playoffs with half of the NFL teams. It's like having 16 NFL teams make the playoffs, and the team that has the best record starts every game with a touchdown. Now, you could still lose the game, but you have a chance of making it. But you've also got the 16 seed that went 7-10. They might upset the Chiefs. It's not likely, but they might. But how pissed would you be if you're the Chiefs and you ran the fucking table, you went fucking 17-0, you're playing a team that lost more games than they won. They got lucky to make the playoffs. And for whatever reason, Patrick Mahomes stubs his toe and can't play, and you lose. Now, shit happens. It's sports. Any team can beat any team on any day. But number one, that team doesn't deserve to be in the playoffs. And number two, there's no reason for us to convolute the picking of the champion when there doesn't need to be. And stick and ball sports, you have to have a playoff. You don't have to. You can look at soccer. Soccer doesn't have playoffs other than in America. Every other major soccer league in the world that I know of does it based on points. You get 3 points for a win, you get 1 point for a draw, and the team with the most points at the end of the year wins the championship.
Hell, just take it into motorsports terms. Any type of racing series. NASCAR is the only motorsport that does this.
Yeah.
Motocross, they don't do that. Now, to be fair, motocross is
dumb. It's not dumb.
It's not dumb. It's just...
It's a hard watch.
Yeah, I mean, I used to watch a little bit back in the day, but, you knew whoever won the championship in motocross, they deserved it. Ryan Villopoto won like 4 straight.
Never heard of him.
He deserved all of them. He whooped everybody's ass.
What about Ryan Sheckler? That's a skateboarder.
Sheckler? Like fucking IMSA series. They have a playoff?
Stewart. What's the guy's Stewart, the black dude?
James Stewart.
Yeah.
He won a couple in a row, or at least he won a couple.
What a Brian Deegan. His daughter's hot.
Fucking obviously you got Ricky Carmichael. He's amazing in motocross and won a lot of championships. He always deserved them. In every other racing series, you know that if the champion if you got a champion beside whoever year that is, you know they deserved it. They were the best driver and team or whatever you want to say. And in NASCAR, rarely does that happen anymore. And it's okay if it only happens every blue moon because you get upsets and stuff like that. Every now and then you got a champion that comes out of nowhere in a sport and wins the whole thing. But in NASCAR these days, it happens way, way, way too much. You can argue, since this playoff format has been implemented, the elimination round, you could argue that 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 guys won the championship that you could say probably deserved it in this play. 4 out of 11. Right?
Oh.
You all right?
You ever swallowed
Yes.
and it feels like you got shot in the
I don't
chest?
spit. Yes.
Oh my God, that hurts. Holy fuck.
You think of it, 2014, Harvick. He was probably the second or third best guy all year, which I can live with that. Jeff Gordon should have won the championship that year based off everything, but he won it.
Guy sucks.
Had a very fast car all year.
Thanks,
definitely. 2015, did Kyle Busch deserve that championship?
Did he missed half the first half of the year?
16, did Jimmy Johnson deserve to win his last championship?
No.
No. Did 17, Mark Truex? Yes. He did.
Kind of.
18, Joey Logano? No.
No. I mean, he was the fourth out of the top four guys.
Fourth or fifth. Sixth, maybe. I think that one's debatable. 19, Kyle Busch. Yeah, he deserved it. 2020, Chase Elliott. I'd say that's debatable. He was the best guy in the playoffs, but overall throughout this whole season, it should have been Denny Hamlin or Kevin Harvick.
Yeah.
2021, Larson. Yes, he won like 11 races.
Yeah.
Yes. 2022, Joe Logano. No. 2023, Ryan Blaney.
No.
2024, Joe Logano.
No. But you can think about it the other way. Let's go back, because I can only think of one. I can only think of one championship that was won from 1990 to 2003 where the champion was not deserving.
Oh boy, here comes a Jeff Gordon slander.
It was not Jeff Gordon. It was Dale Earnhardt in 1990. He did not deserve that championship. He deserved to finish second. Mark Martin should have won that championship that year. They fucking docked him 46 points for an illegal part that wasn't illegal. It wasn't in the rule book. And he ended up losing the championship by 26 points. But
even then, Dale Earnhardt Sr. was the second best driver that year.
Yeah, he was still very good. Like, he still would have finished second to Mark Martin by 20 points.
That's like Rick Mass winning that championship. No disrespect to Rick Mass.
Who?
He probably ran 15th a lot all year.
Who?
Rick Mass.
Never heard of him.
Yes, you have.
I have. But, yeah, it's dumb. The playoffs are dumb.
I'm not comparing Joe Logano to Rick Mask either. Obviously, Joe Logano is a way more talented race car driver than
It would
Rick
be
Mass.
more like...
It's a performance.
It would be more like if...
Jeremy Mayfield won the championship.
Joey Logano having 3 championships, which Joey Logano is a hell of a race car driver. I'm not saying he's not. He deserves to be a NASCAR champion.
Yes.
He's a good enough race car driver to have a couple championships. But winning the championship now is more like if, like you said, Jeremy Mayfield or Casey Kane or Dale Jr. Like, yeah, they have a couple good years here or there. They win a race here or there. But they're not like, none of those guys are championship contenders. But if this playoff format was exactly the way it is now, 20 years ago, you'd have a Jeremy Mayfield have a championship. You'd have a Dale Jr. with a championship. You'd have
Elliott Sadler.
You would have a Ryan
Vickers.
Newman, Brian Vickers. Like,
decent guys.
Yeah, decent guys. You know, back half of the top 10 guys, but not championship contenders. It's like the Hall of Fame to me. Like, there's a lot of guys in the NASCAR Hall of Fame that I don't think deserve to be there. There's a lot of guys in the NFL Hall of Fame, MLB Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame, pick whatever, that are really, 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 really good at what they do. Like top 1% in the world. They're just not the top 1% of the 1%. They're the second best guy on their team. And to me, that guy doesn't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. Just like the third best driver throughout the year had a fucking phenomenal year, should be super happy about what he did. But he doesn't deserve to be the champion. The champion needs to be the guy. When I look back on the season, I want to think back, who won the most races? Who was the most consistent? Who was the best driver all year? Who executed the whole year? Who was good at Daytona all the way to Homestead, preferably? And when I think of that guy, Joey Logano could be. Probably wasn't last year.
Probably
wasn't. Probably wasn't Blaney the year before.
No, he wasn't.
Like, it's never that guy. It's very rare. I won't say never. It's rare.
I just went through it. It's like
rarely that guy.
4 champions that were like in this format. Like, yeah,
a quarter of them.
Yeah. You tell me the quarter of the past 10 Super Bowls have been not been
I would say
more than this shit.
the only one that I can think of dating back to the Broncos that were like the best team didn't win the championship.
I mean, the Panthers should have won that
No, they should
Super Bowl.
They probably shouldn't even have
They
been
went
there.
15-1.
Yeah, they played in the NFC, and the NFC sucked back
Oh
then.
my!
Still does.
Still had Aaron Rodgers.
But anyways, the only Super Bowl champion that I can think of that probably didn't deserve it, that probably wasn't the best team, maybe the 18 Eagles, because they didn't have
17.
the 17 Eagles. The Patriots were probably the best team that year, but the Eagles were still really fucking good. Like, really, really good. They were probably the second best team. That's why they were there. Maybe the Falcons not winning it against the Patriots. The Falcons were probably the best team in the regular season that year, the best team in the playoffs, and they should have won the championship. They choked it away. But, like, there's one or two that you could think of. You can think of the 2007 Patriots should have won the championship, lost to the Eagles. They were still in the game, or the Giants. They were still in the game. You can think to the 2013 Patriots. No, 2011. What year was it that they lost to the Giants again? 11? Yeah. You can think back to that team. The Giants definitely weren't the best team, but they got hot. Like, it happens in stick and ball sports, but it's very rare. The best team usually wins the championship. Every time that the Chiefs have won it, they've been the best team. The Eagles last year were the best team.
Other than 2 years ago. They were like, 10-7 in the regular season, 10-6. Squeaked by, and then they did what they did. But
no, this is RTT. We've been speaking on this way too long. Fucking change the playoffs.
I agree. Is Briscoe the new championship favorite?
No. He can be. I don't think, like we just talked about with the playoff, I don't know if you can have a favorite, because he could win the next 8 races, finish second in Phoenix, and not win the championship.
Taking to my playbook now.
So I mean, he'll probably be.
I think he's round of 8 unless something happens.
I think he's a championship 4. I don't think he's a lock, because it's hard to be a lock. But I would be surprised if he didn't make the championship 4, based on the way he's ran all year, based on how fast.
Second half of the year.
Yeah, and based on how fast he's been. So yeah, I mean, I think he is one of the favorites, but I don't know if you can have a favorite one race into the playoffs. And there's some tracks coming up that are going to be kind of challenging for him and that team, I think. But I still think Denny has got a real opportunity if his pit crew can figure it out. Which they're fast, they just make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
I think if he could put a full race together, he can win anywhere. Probably not at the Roval, but any of the other races, wouldn't be surprised if he won any of them. Kyle Larson, if they can figure it out.
I don't know, man. That 5 teams is
they've been bad. The 20 team, same thing. They're fast.
It's not that they've been bad. It's just
they've been bad for their standard.
Race winning speed since the 600 debacle.
Yeah. So
that was May.
Yeah.
We're in September now.
Yeah. And there's a lot of guys that, if they get hot, like we just talked about, could do it.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not they can put a full race together, if they could put a qualifying, they got to put a full weekend together, a lot of these guys. But I do think Briscoe has an argument to be the favorite. I just don't know if you can make that determination based on one race at a track that doesn't really translate to any of the other tracks in the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a favorite. Kind of, you said what I've been saying for years. I mean, like you said, you could go out there and win the first 9 races of the playoffs, and it doesn't matter
the first
if you
35 races.
If you have a loose wheel at Phoenix on the last pit stop, you done lost the championship. That's why this playoff format's dumb.
You could lead every lap of every race for 35 weeks.
Blow a tire last lap.
Get turned on the white flag lap by the guy running second, and not win the championship.
Yeah, which obviously will never happen, but just saying it
could.
It could. He's not a favorite, but he's definitely, that team is trending he's trending. They're definitely going in the right direction, and they have been executing better than a lot of people have the past 2-3 months. He's only got 2 wins, to be fair. He won at Pocono off fuel mileage, but did a good job of executing there, and then almost won Iowa.
But he's fast.
Almost won
every
Indy.
week.
That team's really starting to figure it out.
He got like 13 poles this year.
That's what I'm saying. And that's the key. That's what I'm saying. Chase Briscoe has figured out qualifying. That team's figured out qualifying, and you qualify is half the battle nowadays because it's so hard to pass. So they continue to qualify the way they are. They will definitely be a Championship 4 contender and a championship favorite going to Phoenix, considering he won a race and stored Haas equipment at that track. So he's definitely one of the favorites. I wouldn't say he's a favorite yet. I still trust the overall speed and talent. Not saying Chase Briscoe's not talented, but I think Denny's more talented. I think Ryan Blaney's more talented. It's close between him and Byron. I think Byron's got a little bit more talent. Larson, if they can ever figure it out, he's right there with them though. I mean, he's not too far off. But I wouldn't say he's a favorite yet. But that was definitely a statement coming out of the first race of the playoffs, saying, "Hey, I can lead over 300 laps and win both stages and beat the asses field and beat
the asses field,
beat the field's asses." On the first playoff race. So it's like some team going out there first game of the playoffs and beating the shit out of somebody else and saying, hey, we're going to be a problem. Like Ohio State did in Tennessee last year in the playoffs. They're like, oh, Ohio State might be a problem in the playoffs now. And they were. They went out and won the whole thing. So I wouldn't say he's a favorite, but he's definitely, if he doesn't make it to the round of 8, I think it's definitely a disappointment now, to where I say at the beginning of the year, if you make the playoffs, and maybe get in the round of 12, that'd be a pretty good season for the 19 team. But, narratives change based off how your performance goes. And I think that the narrative and the expectations have shifted to the 19 to where they could win a championship and be in the championship 4 for sure. And I think they kind of expect it now.
Yep.
You know what? He's got four cars. Got 4 tires on that thing. I'm getting back in that thing. What are you doing?
Where's Ken Schrader?
God almighty, that is terrible. To be transparent here, we didn't watch hardly at
You're
all.
opaque.
Huh?
You're not transparent. You're opaque.
Fuck off. I am white. Very white. And truck race at Darlington on Saturday.
That's not what opaque means.
Shut up. Xfinity race Saturday at Portland.
They raced this weekend?
Didn't watch hardly at all. I did have it on the second TV here while the Clemson game was going on, but obviously I would look over here every now and then and kind of pay attention to what was going on. Didn't really pay attention to it a lot. So we're just going to speak on the Connor Zilisch and Corey Heim. They both won. Shockers. Corey Heim winning at Darlington. Not a big shock there.
What game were we watching Friday?
Huh?
During the truck race, what game were we watching?
Just Saturday. Watching the Ohio State Texas game.
Oh, that's right.
Can't really speak on the races itself, but we just kind of talk about the dominance of both Corey and Connor. Winning again, I think both of them won their 8th races of the season, respectively. In their
One of
series.
them probably won't win the championship.
Yeah, so domination by both of them. Not surprised by it. It's crazy to see that these guys. I think these 2 guys will be competing for championships in the Cup Series here in the next 6 years? You'd say 5 to 6, 5 to 7.
Well, it depends on what. Obviously, Connor's going to be in the Cup Series next year in a subpar car.
Yeah.
But it also depends on what car Corey gets in, if he gets in one. Because
He's 2311 right now. 2311 might not be able to be in business after this year.
There's only one car at JGR that doesn't have, the next 5-6 years kind of locked up. I mean, Ty Gibbs probably don't deserve to be in that car anymore based on the way he's run.
He's
But
still gonna win 4 races.
yeah, no. But he ain't going nowhere. Danny's the only one in JGR that's going to be gone in the next few years. And that's just based on age. 2311, the way Bubba's raced this year, the way that the 45 has been the past couple of years. Now, you could say Riley Herbst, we might be seeing you later, but, that might be a good spot for Corey. But that's if 2311 is still around. We don't know. So Corey's got to find a ride first. And it depends on what cars they get in. But, they are definitely dominating the fuck out of the divisions they're in, and they're both probably overqualified for the divisions they're in. As I said a couple weeks ago, the Truck Series has historically been the old man didn't make it in the top flight series. And the Xfinity Series has been the prove it here, go to the Cup series. And Connor has proved it in the Xfinity Series. I mean, he's won like 19 races in a row. I think it's 7 out of 8.
Yeah.
But
which I think I saw the ending of the race. It got crazy.
I heard it got crazy.
With Austin Hill and shocker. I think Sam Mayer and who else was? I think maybe Nick Sanchez and somebody else. Like they all Connor took the access road or the little cutoff road to take the lead.
I saw that part.
Williams Wallace was up there, and I guess Connor did enough to where he wasn't going to get penalized for it. I guess
he went around the thing that you had to go around.
That's what I'm saying. But he still had a huge lead at the end, so I was wondering how he. Anyways, but yeah, I mean it just proves how good both those guys are. And, I think if they can, like you said, they can find the right cars, find the right teams to get themselves into the Cup Series, they're both going to be problems in the Cup Series in the next 5 years.
Which we say that, but that 77 car is probably not a top 10 car. And Carson Hocevar is driving the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Now, he makes a lot of stupid fucking decisions, but...
Put Chris Buescher in the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of Chris's fault, to be honest, but... Still, fuck them. But, as long as they get in a car that is competitive, it doesn't have to be Hendrick, Penske, Gibbs. But the cars have to be competitive. Because even with as talented as Carson is, there's no doubt in my mind if he was in the 48 car, he'd have a win this year. But if Connor needs to be in a car that's at least as good as that 77. Heim needs to be in a car at least as good to be competitive. Now, if Rick Ware Racing calls Heim up, no, he ain't going to be competitive in the Cup Series just because those cars aren't good enough. But he is, and Connor is as well. And they'll overperform whatever equipment they get in my opinion. But it is kind of important what car they get in. But they are definitely talented enough to do it. I think I said it at the beginning of the year that 35 cars should have gone to Corey Heim. So, yeah, I mean, they're dominating what they're driving. And that's all you can ask of them is do what you're asked. And they're asked to go out there and drive their cars, and their cars are the best cars in the field, and they are the best drivers in the field. So, of course they're going to dominate. But it gets tougher. I mean, you can just ask Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs did a similar thing. Now, he wasn't this dominant. I mean, he's really good.
He had like 8 wins in these.
But he didn't win 7 out of 8. But, once he got a Cup Series, he's just one of the guys. Yeah. And
that's what I was
not a very good one.
Yeah.
So, but I do think they're both a little bit more talented and probably a little bit smarter and mature up top in the dome piece, which I think will help them as it's hurt Ty in a couple of instances.
Yeah, I agree. Hit that button for Attaboy.
Could I give my you can't do that to the firework operator at Clemson?
I saw
catching
that
the scoreboard
too.
on fire.
That was the bad omen right there. I saw that today. If I saw that on Saturday night, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna lose.
You can't do that to whoever thinks that getting in a bus with full pads and driving 2 blocks is the most exciting 30 seconds in college football.
25. Damn, get it
What's
right.
more exciting than that?
Get it right.
Winning
Get
a
it,
football game.
Get it
Go
right.
ahead.
Yeah, I don't know that about the SEC the past fucking 22.
I don't give a fuck about the SEC. I care
Games.
about Carolina football. Dubs.
Don't act like you don't care about the SEC. All you SEC fan bases care about each other unless you're playing each other. And it's a weird cult. I don't understand it.
Hey, all I know is Florida beat the fuck out of Long Island. They did.
Yeah.
They did. They dropped like 58 on them.
Congratulations. DJ Wagley for Heisman.
That guy sucks.
Did I say Wagley?
You did.
Lagway. God almighty. I'm drunk.
Well, he did beat the Asses Field, though.
He did. And it hurt. My attaboy from Darlington this past weekend, I'm going to give it to Legacy Motor Club, man. Just a crazy good day for them. I know Eric Jones historically has been good at this track. Won when we were there 3 years ago. Won another one in 2019 with Joe Gibbs Racing. But this guy always shows up at this race every year. It's the toughest race of the year. No matter what car he drives, he's always in contention to win this race at the end of the day, or at least contend for a top 10. And he did it yet again this weekend. And then John Hunter Nemechek surprised the hell out of me. But obviously both cars very similar, but John Hunter drove the wheels off that car. Finished fourth, best race of the season by far. He had a top 5 somewhere at, I think he might have finished top 5 in Mexico earlier in the year. But overall, this was his best race of the year. And I remember 2020, I think he finished top 10 in front row equipment at the first race back after COVID. So, I mean, this is a pretty good track for John Hunter as well. But, you know, both guys, Legacy Motor Club, showing up in the playoffs when they really don't mean a whole lot for them other than trying to get the race win when you got a whole bunch of other playoff guys. I mean, they beat Hendrick Motorsports so bad in the base-off performance this weekend at Darlington. I never would have expected that. Penske beat the shit out of Penske all weekend. Beat the shit out of RFK. Beat the shit out of most of JGR. That gives credit to that team and Jimmy Johnson, and they're trying to build something special there in Legacy Motor Club, and this is a step in the right direction. I get it. It's a one-time thing. Darlington is a own beast in itself, and it seems like those two guys, this is one of definitely Eric Jones' best track and probably top 3 of John Hunter's best tracks as well. But still to show up and to show out like they did, and Eric Jones had a chance to win at the end of the race if you could fucking pass the leader. He could have got a win for Legacy Motor Club, got his third Southern 500 win, which would be an incredible feat for him. And just a great day overall for Legacy Motor Club, trying to build for next year, trying to go on a start off the season of next year better for them if they can, try to get themselves into the playoff contention. They were earlier in the season with John Hunter, I think, and they kind of fell off the face of the earth toward the summer. But, you know, it's a huge race, huge weekend for Legacy, and it's very not a surprise, but just a very shocking how both cars were that good on Sunday night. Both had a chance to win the race, and you know, I feel stupid for not picking Eric Jones in my pick'em this week. I forgot how good he was here, and I should have picked him, but I didn't, and I probably lost, and you probably won. So congratulations, you got to pay me for it first, you fuckhead, before I pay your ass.
Or you can just divvy it up, and if I won,
I'm
just
pretty sure
pay
you
me
won.
$5 less than.
I'm pretty sure you won because we had the same lineup, but you had Denny, and I had Larson. And Denny beat Larson by like 12 spots or something like that. So, and I think me and you were my guys all finished 15th to 20th, but I think I finished second out of that because everybody else had such a bad weekend, just pick-em wise. A lot of people picked Christopher Bell. A lot of people had bad races, but me and you, I think, had the best two, and I think you won. So, feel stupid for not picking Eric Jones this weekend in my pick'em, but is what it is. But attaboy, Legacy Motor Club, they did a hell of a job this weekend.
Yeah, that's who I was going to go with, but I'm going to give mine to AJ Allmendinger. Finished 2 positions behind those guys in 5th, which he has not had a year to remember. Hasn't been that competitive at all. He'll show up here or there. I think he had a couple of races beginning of the year, ran top 10-ish.
He's running great at the Coke 600 for a while.
You know,
I think he did finish a good Cookie's 100.
Had a couple good races, throughout the year that were all right, but kind of let down. Road course races especially has been really a no-show. Kind of been non-competitive at them for the most part, which is wild for him. But to show up at Darlington, a track that he himself has said that he's not very good at, that he did not like coming to for a long time, to show up and run fifth, the only Chevy in the top five, the only non-Toyota in the top five, and to be very competitive all night. They never really talked about him, obviously, number one, not in the playoffs. Number two, it's A.J. Allmendinger, so they didn't really, talk about him a ton, but they did give him a shout out here or there. Really, really good day for that team. That car has not been that good. That team has not been that good. So, to run fifth, get a good finish for your guys, run well, be competitive at a racetrack. Anytime you can finish in the top five at Darlington, it's a good day. I don't care who you are. Top five at Darlington, you're going to be happy with it. And especially for a team like that that's trying to build, trying to, grow with low expectations, and to go out there and put a showing on like that. There's no way you could be upset at that. So, attaboy. Adam James Allmendinger, I guess. Is that his name? Anthony James, maybe?
I think it might be Anthony, yeah. Cole Anthony. Carmelo Anthony.
Anthony Edwards. Anthony Bennett. Oh!
Yeah, that's what everybody said after they picked his ass. Who?
What's he doing these days?
Not playing basketball. I'll tell you that.
Eating, probably.
Yep.
You can't do that.
Yep.
You can't do that, Cavaliers, for picking Anthony Bennett.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You can't do that. You can't do that. The Ford Motor Company. One car in the top 10 is pathetic, with Chris Buescher finishing 10th, which, a good day for Chris. I mean, I ain't mad at it. I'm not happy with it, but I'm not mad at it. To finish 10th, that's good, but to be your top finishing car running 10th, none of your playoff guys competitive. I don't think Ford led a single lap all night. Like you said, I don't know if Chevy did either, but that's just, it's inexcusable. I mean, I understand that Toyota kind of has a chokehold on some of these tracks. Darlington's not one of them. Ford won this race last year.
Yeah.
Granted, that
Chevy dominated. And
that
Carl
team
Larson
doesn't
dominated.
exist anymore.
Yeah.
Ford won the spring race last year.
Yep. Ford won the spring race 3 years ago with Joey.
Ford is historically good at Darlington, and it's not dominated, but they've been good. But to run 10th, not good. But here's the other part. Ford's kind of been bad all year. This is another year where Ford's been the third manufacturer, if you want to look at the points.
Well, if you take out Ryan Blaney, yes.
Yeah, Ford is third in manufacturer points. Chevy's leading it. They're 93 points behind Chevrolet in the manufacturer standings. They have 5 wins. Chevy has 10. Or Chevy has 12. Toyota has 10. They have half of the second place team. Now, granted, there's always going to be one team somebody's got to finish last. The manufacturer points don't really matter to me. I mean, it matters to the teams, but it don't matter to me. It don't matter to the fans. But
I'm pretty sure they finished third the past.
They've been bad.
With
Couple
Penske winning the driver championships.
Yeah. So
if the way it goes.
And here's the other thing. Penske, we can count Josh Berry in this because that's essentially a Penske car. Penske is the only Ford team that has won a race for Ford since Watkins Glen of last year. The only one, if you count Josh Berry. Since this time last year, Penske is the only Ford organization that has won a race. That's crazy to me.
Well, I mean,
That's almost 36 races, and Penske is the only Ford organization that has won a race.
well, RFK is probably the second, and then
And they ain't won a race all year.
then front row.
They ain't really come close other than super speedways.
That's the thing. There's not really a whole lot of great Ford organizations other than.
Well, get better.
That's fair.
Get better. That's my point.
That's fair.
It's almost it's inexcusable because Ford is. I don't know what it is with Ford, but they have almost zero presence in the Xfinity Series, and it's been a long time since they've had a presence in the Xfinity Series. Really, since Roush got out of the Xfinity Series, Ford has been.
Well, you still got Stuart Haas.
You have Haas. You know, you got
Haas.
Sam Mayer, who's won a race this year. Who else? You got his teammate Sheldon Creed, who finishes 5th every week, which wonderful, great.
I think he had a bad day Saturday.
Yeah, but is there another Ford on the track? Sieg? They run Fords, don't they?
Yeah.
How many races have they won ever? 0.
Well,
They should have won one last year. But
Eric Almirola won at Sonoma for him a couple years ago.
But
other than that, no, nothing.
For some reason, Ford has lost its competitiveness when compared to the other two manufacturers.
Even in the truck series, yeah. I mean, you got Lane Riggs wins a.
He won a couple races. He's been the second best driver this year.
Tom Majeski, has he won a race this year?
I don't think so.
I don't think Thor's
Maybe one
has won a race this year. I don't think they have.
They've been bad, and I don't know what it is, but it needs to change. Roush being a second-tier organization hurts them. They don't have the numbers that Chevy and Toyota have, at least as far as competitive team goes. There's a lot of Fords that run towards the back for some reason. You've got the front row cars that have not been good this year. You've got Rick Ware that has not been good ever. But to show up to Darlington, your best driver finishes 10th. He's not even in the playoffs.
I think it's just the remnants of Stuart Haas. Their downfall has hurt Ford more than they expected.
Yeah, I mean, it may be, but
Stuart Haas was the tippy top.
Roush won 2 races last year.
Yeah.
Could argue probably should have been 3 or 4. Didn't. But Penske is carrying the Ford banner. If it wasn't for Penske, Ford would be in trouble.
Yeah.
And they need to figure that shit out because they show up to the mile and a halves. They have a car or two that are competitive. They show up to the short tracks. They have a car or two that's competitive. You show up to the super speedways, and yeah, sure, the Fords, Roush usually brings the best stuff there. But they never win them. So, what the fuck's going on? Why is it that Chevy and Toyota are that much better? Why? I don't get it. I don't get it. I will never get it. It's super frustrating. Yeah. You can't do that, Ford Motor Company.
Yeah. All right, fuck it. I'll give it. You can't do that to my Clemson Tigers.
C-L-E. Well, we could have stopped at L.
Good one. Yeah, just shit the bed on Saturday night. Offense was anemic yet again, and it seems like in these big games we just don't know how to play football on offense and call good plays on offense when we're not playing fucking Wake Forest. It's not all his fault.
I think he's got 7 interceptions against his last 5 SEC opponents with 0 wins. I think that's the stat.
7?
Yeah. 7 picks.
Games?
7 picks, no touchdowns.
Does Texas not count as an SEC team? He threw 3 touchdown passes.
I think regular season is what the stat is.
Of course. It's fucking narrow it down to where it makes Cade look terrible.
I mean, he's not good.
No, I blame the offensive scheme. Garrett Riley, I've pretty much had it with him. And it's against good teams, we play conservative. We don't go for the throat. We don't take chances, and it shows because it's just embarrassing on how bad we are. Thank you. Excuse me. I have a sneeze fest when Riley walks out the damn room. against good teams, and it continues to happen. We had that Texas game in the playoff last year where we showed a little bit on offense, but other than that, when we play good competition these past 4 years, we can't do nothing on offense against good teams, and I'm about sick of it because we have the talent, we have everything for us that we should not be scoring 10 points at home against a good team when you've had all offseason to prepare for what you're going to do. Now, I know defense is usually ahead of offense in college football to start the season. Eventually, offense gets better and the defenses fall a little bit behind, kind of how it goes. But it's just embarrassing because I'm sick of it. And we got all the talent in the world. We had a defense first game as defensive coordinator for Tom Allen. I think he did a good job. Our defense played pretty well, all things considered. Our offense just could not do anything. Same shit I saw against Georgia last year. Same shit I saw against South Carolina in the second half of last year. And same shit I saw against, who was it? South Carolina in 2023. We won the game, but we didn't score an offensive touchdown in the game. So I'm just sick of it. I'm tired of it. I don't care if we can put up 70 points against fucking Troy or Appalachian State like we did last year. I want to see it against fucking a good team that has the skill level and talent that is kind of rivals us, and we can never execute the way we need to. So I always be a Clemson Tiger. I always support my Tigers, but I'm about sick of it. I have no faith in us contending for a championship this year just because I've seen this too many times now that we can't beat a good team. We can beat the bottom hill people of the ACC. We can beat the middle tier of the ACC, but we can't even beat LSU, which is a good team, but can't beat them at home. First game of the season with the Valley rocking, and the crowd brought it on Saturday night, and we could still only muster up 10 points. And the scheme was terrible. The execution was terrible. We didn't adjust like we never do in these big games, and it cost us yet again. So you can't do that to my Clemson Tigers. And if it don't get fixed soon, we're going to have a serious problem here in Clemson, South Carolina. And that South Carolina game is 12 weeks away. We got 12 weeks to figure it the fuck out because we probably won't play. Florida State looked good. We'll probably have a problem with them, but
Depends on how good Alabama ends up being.
yeah, according to how that goes. But South Carolina game 12 weeks away. We better figure it out before then, or else we're gonna get shit. We're gonna get boat race in Columbia come November 30th or whenever the fuck it is. So you can't do that to my Clemson Tigers.
I loved it for one, personally.
I bet you did.
I called it.
Hurry up. Got 7 minutes.
All right. So, yeah, got Gateway this week. I won this week, 18-13 now.
Make it a comeback.
Making a comeback.
5 down, won 3 straight.
Yeah.
I'm fucked. I'm going to be the 2016 Atlanta Falcons.
I need to start winning some races, though, instead of just picking guys that finish in front of yours.
I think you should pick Cody Ware the next 3 weeks.
I might. But no, I think the race this weekend will be okay. I don't think it's going to be a barn burner. Ford's going to show up and have a competitive day. I think they're going to be the ones to beat, and I'm not talking about Roush. So I think the Penske cars will be good. I think Chevrolet is going to be kind of the team that struggles the most. I think Toyota's will be all right. I think the Fords will be the best. Racing on track, hopefully, is good. We'll see, though. Dirty air's been a problem here in the past. It just kind of comes down to restarts, I think, and, who wrecks when, like every race nowadays does. So, I don't, like I said, I don't expect a barn burner or anything. I expect a similar race to what we saw in Darlington as far as on-track competitiveness goes. Hopefully not dominated like Darlington was. I don't foresee it to be that way. But, we'll see. Hopefully, though, a Roush car surprises me. I just I don't think they will.
Yeah, I see Chevy struggling this weekend. Mainly the Hendrick guys. They never had a good track record here in the 3 years we've come here. I think they only have maybe one top 10 out of all 4 guys. I could be wrong on that, but I know Chase has struggled here. I know Byron struggled here, and Larson's been mediocre here, and I don't ever remember Bowman being all that good here. So I'm not expecting a whole lot from the Hendrick boys. And, RCR, Kyle Busch, he could be good. Won this race a couple of years ago. He almost won the first race here at Joe Gibbs Racing. I know it's Joe Gibbs Racing, Toyota equipment, totally different car, but not different car, but different team. But he's been pretty good here in the past. He could be good here. But I think it's going to be a Ford and Toyota type day. Penske's been really good here the past 3 seasons. Logano won the first race here in the Cup Series, and then Cindric won here last year. Off of Bell having motor problems and Ryan Blaney running out on the last lap. So, but again, Blaney, Penske, he's been very good here in the past as well. So Penske's been very good here. And Joe Gibbs Racing has been pretty good here. Chris Bell, this is like a bigger New Hampshire to really, if you think about it, it's a little faster than New Hampshire, obviously. But it's very similar to New Hampshire, a little bit more banking. But Chris Bell probably should have won this race last year. But like I said, he had motor problems. So I think he'll be good. Briscoe should be pretty good. Denny, maybe. We'll see. But 2011, Reddick and Bubba, we'll see. But it's kind of it's a race where I'm really having a hard time figuring out who's going to be fast out of those Ford and Toyota teams, because other than Penske, it's been kind of all over the board as far as who's had race-winning speed over the past 3 races here. So should be interesting to see who shows up this weekend. It's a playoff race. It's the first time we've had Gateway in the playoffs, so a little bit more pressure for all these guys and these teams to step up. We saw them kind of collapse this past weekend at Darlington. A lot of teams making mistakes on pit road. You can't have that at Gateway. It's another track where it's very difficult to pass with this car, and track position matters. And just ask Austin Cindric. I mean, he qualified, I think, top 3 here last year and kind of ran 3rd to 5th all day. And not saying it fell into his lap, because he did a good job executing to stay in the top 3 at the end of the race, but the race kind of fell into him towards the end of the race because other people making mistakes. Blaney's pit crew not filling the car up, and then Christopher Bell kind of motor problems. It's kind of a freak deal with the motor there. But you gotta keep yourself in the top 5 to 7 throughout the whole race. I don't see somebody coming from 15th or 20th to the lead late in the race to win the race. So you got to keep the track position. Qualifying is gonna matter, like it always does in modern day NASCAR Cup Series racing. And I think it'll be a Ford and Toyota that'll get the checker flag on Sunday.
Yeah. With that being said, I am kind of conflicted here. I've got 3 guys in mind that I want to pick.
Cody Ware, Justin Haley.
No.
And
one of which
Noah Gragson
has won very recently.
Chase Briscoe.
One of which has also won very recently.
Ryan Blaney.
And one of which didn't show very much at Darlington. It's kind of been hit or miss all year. And, I don't know. So
Joey Logano.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm good.
So it's between those 3 to me. I think they'll all have 3 good days. I think the heart pick is Joey. I want him to have a good day. The brain picks are the 19 and the 12. I think both of those will have good days as well. I think on speed, the 19's the best pick because he's been one of the fastest cars for the past 3-4 months. Blaney is historically good here. Should have won the race last year. Blew up, ran out of gas, whatever it was.
Holy shit, hold on. Okay, never mind. All these guys you've only picked once. So you're free to pick any of them.
Yeah. Just what's the likelihood of Briscoe winning 2 races in a row?
I don't think they're really going to. I mean, maybe, but I don't see them.
But then again, what's the likelihood of Blaney winning 2 out of 3?
Yeah. Fair.
And do I trust Joey to be fast? He's been not great pretty much all year. Fuck it. Give me Blaney. I think that's the safe pick. I think Joey is a boom or bust guy. I think he could have a really good day. I just don't trust him to. I think Briscoe would have been a good pick as well, but I'm gonna go with the heart on this one. I'd rather see Blaney have a good day than Briscoe. So let me get to 12. Go 12.
Don't you be saying that shit.
Also, I like being a dick, so I hope you have to root against Ryan Blaney this weekend.
I mean, I won't root against him. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I'll take a win for him. If that means I'm down to 3 points lead on you. I can afford it. Not really, but that's what I'll say to myself. Well, okay. Well, I'm going to go with his teammate, Joey Logano. Kind of the same reason you are. I don't know if I trust the 22 right now, but other than last week, they've had some momentum with the 22 team. They've shown some speed. It's very, very fast at Richmond. Probably had the best car at Daytona before he spun himself out in the lead. Thinking Darlington might be just kind of a flash in the pan, bad race for him. Playoffs come, they usually step it up. And Joey won this race 3 years ago. He was very good here. I think every time we've come here, he's been very good. So, I expect the 22 team to bounce back very good, very strong. They have to. They're below the cut line. So they got to have a good race. It's not like they're comfortable and they can kind of take it easy and, see what they can have. They got to show up and have top 5, top 10 speed, and I think they will. Get their teammate Blaney, I don't know. I think they're both going to be very close together. I think I could see them both competing for the win. Cindric as well. It's been one of Penske's better tracks. It's a flatter oval. It works out in Ford and Penske's advantage. So we'll see. But I'm gonna pick Joey this weekend. I hope I'm wrong. But I think the 22 car need a good run after an embarrassing week last weekend. I think they respond. Joey's usually pretty good at after a bad race, he comes back and has a really good race. So I'll pick Joey Logano and the 22 team to get her done in St. Louis? Yeah, St. Louis this weekend. So I guess go Joey Logano. I hope I'm wrong, but we'll just see how it goes.
We will. Hopefully they lose like Clemson did.
Who?
Joey.
That's fine with me. I don't give a damn. Fuck that guy.
Also, go Troy.
Go Bulldogs. South Carolina State.
Yeah. Good luck. South Carolina.
TCU is shitting on North Carolina.
The fuck out of them. I picked TCU to lose this game.
Yeah, you are just awful this weekend on picks.
Got 2 of them right.
You did. Bill Belichick like, what the fuck did I just get into?
I'm going back to the NFL.
Fuck this. I'm going to fucking on my boat to fuck my 25-year-old
Canadian Football
girlfriend.
League hiring.
Yeah, my goodness. I didn't see this coming.
To be fair, you're allowed, 85 people on your roster in college football?
Yeah. No, I think it's 105 still with walk-ons.
Whatever it is. They've got 70 new players in North Carolina.
Yeah, it might take a minute.
40 are out of the transfer
portal. As long as it takes
portal.
a minute after the Clemson game.
When do y'all play?
October 12th. 5th game of the season.
They might be good by then.
Probably beat us.
Hopefully. Go Heels. But
what you got going on this weekend?
Work. That's really it. Opening season. Opening weekend of NFL. My Broncos are playing the Titans. Sorry, Cam Ward fans, but good luck.
I thought you were playing the Raiders.
We got the Titans week 1.
Oh.
Broncos by 50.
I'll take that bet.
It ain't going to be 50. It might be 45, but
I'll still take that bet.
No, it won't be. It'll probably be 24-10 or something like that. But I don't think it'll be close. Go Broncos. Cam Ward's going to have a rude awakening to the NFL because the Broncos are going to have the best defense in football this year. So, and we're at home. So, good luck. South Carolina, like you said, is playing South Carolina State. That game will be over halfway through the first quarter. Hopefully. Hopefully they clean up a lot of the kind of inconsistencies they had on offense this weekend against the Turkeys from Virginia Tech. Clemson's playing Troy. Go Troy. Y'all will probably beat them by 132 coming off a pretty
we'll show the playbook off this week.
Yeah, coming off pretty disappointing loss. Y'all will probably show up in that game pretty well. Is there any big games this weekend? Not really that I can think of.
Michigan, Oklahoma. That's about it.
I think both of them are middle of the pack.
Yeah, I got
squads.
Oklahoma just because they're at home.
Yeah, Oklahoma probably. Game day's there, I think.
Yeah, they are.
But other than that, I can't really think of any big-time games on Saturday. Of course, the race is on Sunday. We'll watch that. I will. You'll be sleeping and then going to work. But you'll probably get up for it, I guess. But
yeah, I guess I will. Might as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, other than that, work, and a little bit more work. So,
Yep.
Same old.
Yeah, I'll be working this weekend on night shift, so I get to catch first half of the race here and probably watch the end of it as I'm going into work or as I'm at work the last few laps or so. So, just Xfinity and Cup this weekend. The Xfinity race is Saturday night, 7:30 CW. I wish Cup race would do that. They'd be maybe a better race. Probably not. I don't fucking know. It's Gateway. I don't know what to expect, but yeah, just be working. Got stuff to do around the house this week on my week off and get back to the grind, I guess. I gotta eventually play Utah in the damn college football playoff.
Yeah, I gotta lose
Dynasty.
to Florida in the fucking Military Bowl or whatever I'm in.
Yeah, so we gotta try to figure out a time to do that Wednesday or Thursday this week. But yeah, it's kind of same old stuff. Deer season for me is under 50 days away. It's about the only thing I can hold my hat on now because my Clemson Tigers let me down, and I don't know how Blaney and Chase are going to do in the playoffs. Don't have a great feeling about either one of them. More Blaney, I have more faith in Blaney than I do Chase, but we'll see. But hey, deer season, I can control that shit, so I can miss a deer on my own and blame the gun. On that end, but it's under 50 days away. Excited for that, and it's cooling down in the upstate.
Fumble 6.
Oh my God, you can't do that, North Carolina. Jesus, 41-7. Yeah, Bill's about to just pack it in. He's like, I'm done with this shit. But that's all I got going on. Yeah, that's it. Go Tigers, and yeah, follow the show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at the High Line. Hit the notification bell.
Ding, ding.
There you go. Follow the show on TikTok at the High Line Podcast. Follow the show on Instagram at the High Line Official. Follow the show on YouTube at the High Line Podcast. And we'll come back with you next week to review Gateway and I'm sure a whole bunch of shit that I don't want to talk about.